YouTube, a relatively recent frontier. These are the episodes of the channel Vigilante Mode. Its ongoing mission to explore strange new films, to boldly go where no YouTube channel has gone before.
Initiate Vigilante mode.
What's going on, guys? Alright, look, it is super hot today. I got my little dabber. So I had an opportunity to go see Star Trek Beyond. Now it doesn't open until July 22nd, so I got to go to an advanced screening of it and was quite pleased to do so. It will be a non-spoiler review. I will be as vague as possible because there's a lot of cool things that happen in this movie that I just want you to see, and I will get into some of the more spoiler stuff on the spoiler discussion panel that will be up soon. I was definitely very apprehensive about the movie. I am a huge Star Trek fan. I started off, kind of being a little bit of an anti-fan because I was a Wars purist. Kind of similarly to how I got inducted into Game of Thrones, how I kind of was like, I don't know if it's for me. And then I tried it. That's what you get for trying new things. You might enjoy it. And it turned out to be one of my favorite franchises of all of them. I was very excited to see the movie, and I love what's been happening with this sort of rebooted franchise since Abrams took over in 2009. And this movie is not directed by J.J. Abrams, it's directed by Justin Lin. He's sort of continuing where J.J. left off, as is the film itself. The Enterprise crew has now been on their 5-year mission. We kind of pick up with all of the characters from where we were in Star Trek Into Darkness. This movie was so much fun. Definitely some of the most fun I've had all summer in theaters. I feel like this is a good movie for people who might have never really liked Star Trek. I do feel like this could be a good jumping off point for you. I think that this movie is pretty accessible to anybody. It's just an enjoyable, fun adventure in space, and I don't really think you have to have any previous knowledge of Star Trek at all. I think it's all pretty understandable. A lot of people have criticized this new series as being a little bit more Star Warsy, less cerebral than the original series and some of the other spin-offs. It kind of works for this more general audience approach and bringing new viewers into the franchise. So I think it works. I think it benefits it, and they stay true to that. With that said, Simon Pegg took over writing duties for this film. He, I think, put more of a kind of original series tone into this, of it being a little bit more of an exploration story, and I think it really works well for this movie. I think Simon Pegg did a great job on the screenplay. It's very tight and well written, dialogue's good, it's paced well. I think he's got some real talent as a writer. Star Trek's core theme, which is really more of an exploration of the human condition in outer space. It's like a cool kind of juxtaposition. Out there is where we find ourselves. Star Trek has always been about kind of like this utopian society among humans and among this federation of planets, but there's still all these things happening out there beyond our knowledge, and that's sort of what this movie is about. Definitely props to Pegg and Lin for the direction. It was this incredible sequence. You've seen some of it in the trailers where basically the Enterprise is being attacked by this swarm of alien ships, and it was just a phenomenal action sequence. I mean, I was just so invested. It was so beautifully animated and designed. It was incredible. It was really breathtaking, and you really felt the high stakes. Not too much I didn't really like about the film. Maybe too much usage of shaky cam in some of these action sequences. I feel like we're kind of we've moved past the shaky cam stuff. I mean, Star Trek does not need to be shaky cam. It was a little irritating at times. Ensemble was fantastic. I think everybody gave all the actors have been great since the first one, but this one, I think, everybody just really ratcheted up their performance. And Chris Pine, Zach Quinto, Zoe Saldana, everybody was amazing. I think the scene stealer of this movie was definitely Sofia Boutella. She plays this character, Jayla. She's new. She was great. I'm getting chills right now actually thinking about her. Her physicality is wonderful. Her performance is great. She does such great work through the prosthetics. She really makes you care about her characters. She's going to be a huge star. I mean, she is going to play the Mummy in this new Tom Cruise Universal Pictures Mummy, and man, she was great. She was also in Kingsman. This is not really a con of the film. This is just a little nitpick. I really liked Idris Elba's villain portrayal. He plays this character named Crawl. He was fascinating. I just felt like it waited a little too long maybe to get to some of the character development. Just kind of, you have to wait to the end. So there is payoff there, but I guess I was just a little annoyed until we got to that point. With that said, I loved what they did with that character. He was fantastic. His acting, his vocal work, everything was great. He's just one of our best, and I'm really glad to see that he's getting a lot of work these days. There were so many moments in this movie that I was just like clapping and cheering out loud. There's a lot of little Trek Easter eggs and things like that. I don't think it's alienating to fans who won't understand that. Like I said before, it's fairly accessible, but it just made a guy like me who wears shirts like this really happy. Overall, this movie was exactly what a summer movie needs to be. It was fun, it was exciting, I love the characters, and didn't have the burden of having to like reintroduce or introduce a lot of new elements to it. You continued on from where we left off with those characters that we've grown to love, and I was very invested in what was happening. My expectations were very low going into this movie because the previous one kind of disappointed me. I didn't think it was a bad film, but I was disappointed. This movie really made up for so much of it. It's probably my favorite of this new rebooted franchise, and it's definitely one of my favorite movies of this summer, and not just because I'm a Star Trek fan, because I'm a movie fan, and I loved this film. I'm gonna give Star Trek Beyond an A. Bravo, to the Star Trek team. You guys did a fantastic job and really delivered. Star Wars is in a really good place. Star Trek is in a really good place. I'm not saying there's gonna be like a crossover. You never know. I think J.J. Abrams really helped both franchises reach their fullest potential, and I'm just really happy with both of them. I think you can be a fan of both and it not be a problem. Go see this movie when it comes out in theaters. You will enjoy it. It is a lot of fun, and I think you will feel that same sense of stakes. So that's my review of Star Trek Beyond. Are you gonna see it, or did you already have a chance to see it? What do you think of Star Trek? Here's a question: Star Trek versus Star Wars, which one do you prefer if you had to choose one? Or are you like me and you like to kind of have both in your life? Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, live long and prosper.